My name is what you asked
Yes.
for?
I did.
No, I'm not Peyton Ansley John Milton. I am the agent authorized to represent Peyton Ansley John Milton as written in all capital letters.
And how do you choose to go forward?
Pro se, please.
Okay,
Your Honor.
you even know the right term. Okay.
And there's no victim in this alleged crime. I might preface this with, I have gone to anti-kidnapping training. I was inhumanely subject to what I would define as torture.
All right, everyone. Today we have one of the most clueless sovereign citizens to ever step foot in a courtroom. This guy is running the same old sovereign citizen script like it's some kind of cheat code, and the judge just straight up laughs in his face. Honestly, I don't blame the judge. How do you argue against reality with that much confidence? At what point do these people realize the law doesn't care about their made-up rules? It's wild to think that so many people still believe in this nonsense. But seriously, how did we get to a point where this many people are running around believing this stuff? Especially these sovereign citizens.
Milton, is there a competency concern, or is this
I am not represented by anybody besides myself in my sovereign capacity. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak to him. I read him the reports.
Who is him?
Don't interrupt. I'm letting
I read him.
Langley go. You just sit quietly.
Thank you.
I read him the report so that he will understand the charges against him. He didn't wish to hear anything more about his rights, and he does not wish to be represented. Thank you.
As the agent for Peyton Ansley John Milton, you are indicating to me that you're quite familiar with Peyton Ansley John Milton, and that's basically you. Is that correct?
I am the agent authorized to represent Peyton Ansley John Milton as written in all capital letters.
All right. And you understand, for my purposes, that language doesn't make any sense. So
no, I do not.
I understand. Okay. Well, I'm telling you that. And so I am, until you disabuse me of the motion or the notion, I am inclined to believe you are both the agent and the person. So, and it's
I'm not a person. I am one of the people. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So for the record, that's my finding. Yeah, hold on. We're not done.
Okay.
Have a seat.
You got it.
And thank you. Mr. Sharp, let me swear you in. Swear the testimony and probable cause application will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I so swear, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Sharp.
So this information comes from a report of Officer Evers of the Lacey Police Department. She responded to an unwanted person complaint at a 7-Eleven store. Upon arriving, Officer Evers contacted staff who advised her that it was a white male, approximately 5'5", with a beard, wearing green long-sleeved flannel. Staff advised that he was intoxicated and belligerent. At one point, the male stated he would be waiting outside when they got off work, that they asked the male to leave multiple times and he refused. Once they called the police, the male returned to his Toyota 4Runner, that it was parked outside the gas station. Staff stated that they didn't feel safe, wanted the male trespassed. Officer made contact with the male and immediately was able to identify him as Peyton Milton. Officer knows Mr. Milton is a local transient that lives out of his car, has had several social contacts with him. Officer Evers asked Mr. Milton if he was just inside the store. He stated that he was. He stated that he was too drunk to be held accountable.
Out of all the things you could say when getting arrested, this sovereign citizen really went with, "I'm too intoxicated to be held accountable." Not, "I didn't do it," not, "You got the wrong guy," but straight up admitting to the crime and then trying to dodge responsibility because he was too out of it. Sovereign citizens never fail to amaze me with their complete lack of understanding of how the law actually works. They seem to think that if they say enough nonsense, the laws just won't apply to them. I just don't understand how you can be out at a 7-Eleven committing all kinds of crimes, completely out of it, and then try to pull the "I'm too intoxicated" card. It makes no sense. It really feels like all these sovereign citizens have the same victim mentality. Maybe I'm wrong here, but let me know what you guys think. I genuinely believe these people see themselves as victims, like professional victims. But I guess that's what happens when you buy into one of those sovereign citizen courses off the internet.
7-Eleven, and he stated, "I understand what you have to do." Mr. Milton offered to manually push his car to a gravel lot about 25 yards from the 7-Eleven so that he wasn't on the property since he was too intoxicated to drive. Officer agreed and gave Mr. Milton until nightfall to push the car out of the lot. Officer provided Mr. Milton with his phone, and he replied, "Can I go back in and charge it?" The officer advised him that he could not charge his phone at this 7-Eleven and that if he entered the store again, he would be arrested. Officer provided Mr. Milton with a copy of the trespass form. And then at 16:23 hours, staff called dispatch advising that Mr. Milton was back inside the store. Staff advised that Mr. Milton said he was too drunk to be held accountable, and that he left again once they called dispatch, and this time he again left his cell phone in the store. Officer then contacted Mr. Milton. He again stated that he was too drunk to be held accountable. Officer noted that Mr. Payton was intoxicated but functional and able to understand the officer's instructions. Officer advised Mr. Milton, that he was under arrest for trespass, detained him without incident. He was then booked into the county jail. The Nisqually jail.
On the charge of criminal trespass first degree, is the city making a motion to revoke the deferral on the assault conviction or
Yes,
on the
Your
assault case?
Based on the new law violation, yes.
Thank you. And let's see,
Now, will I get a moment here to articulate anything?
I'll let you know. So sit
Appreciate
tight.
it.
I'm still working through the process. Thank
Of
you.
course.
All right. So, Ms. Sharp, it appears that the assault was not a deferral. It was a stipulated order of continuance.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. So we'll note the city's motion to revoke the continuance on the assault charge based on the allegation of a new law violation. And Mr. Milton is asking not to be represented by counsel. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's have a little chat about that. If you choose to represent yourself, which is your right, you can make that choice. But I want to make sure that we make a record that you are doing so knowingly and voluntarily. Ms. Langley is an attorney. I'm going to guess that you have not gone to law school and become a member of the bar. Is that correct?
I can neither confirm nor deny that information, actually.
Okay. So not being an attorney, you understand that if you represent yourself, the court cannot assist you in recognition of the fact that you're not an attorney. So you will end up missing things you're supposed to do. You will do things you're not supposed to do. And all of those things will likely work to your detriment. So it is never a smart thing to represent yourself. And frankly, if an attorney were to say they would represent themselves, I would have the same conversation with them and advise them, I think it's a foolish decision to make. You, however, have that right, as I pointed out. But I want to make sure you understand you have the right to have counsel. You have the right to have me appoint counsel, or you can hire counsel. And if you ask me to appoint counsel, I can appoint counsel at no cost. So you understand all of that.
I appreciate that, and I do. Thank you.
And how do you choose to go forward?
Pro se, please.
Okay,
Your Honor.
even know the right term. Okay.
Your Honor, I was not read my Miranda rights this most recent time. I believe I'm supposed to request a voyeur.
Sovereign citizen decides to go pro se, because of course he does, and now he's asking the judge how to get the body cam footage. Bro, you literally have a lawyer sitting right next to you on the Zoom call, ready to handle this for you, and you just say no, only to turn around and beg for help. Somebody make it make sense in the comments. These judges aren't your personal legal assistants. This is what gets me about sovereign citizens. They act like they've cracked some secret legal code, but they can't even figure out basic procedure. If you're going to reject a lawyer, at least pretend you know what you're doing. Instead, he's fumbling through legal terms like he's ordering off a menu. I swear, sovereign citizens are the only people who think stubborn competence is a substitute for actual knowledge. Let me know what you guys think. Is this peak sovereign citizen delusion, or have you seen worse? Because I know I have, but this is just something else. Next voice, next voice. Seriously though, where did we go wrong as a country? These sovereign citizens are multiplying like NPCs in a broken video game, and somehow, each new one knows even less than the last. Is there a secret training camp where they just sit around and practice misinterpreting laws? Because I genuinely don't understand how someone can confidently argue with a judge while having zero legal knowledge. It's almost impressive how committed they are to being wrong. I know a lot of you in the comments blame politics for these people, But honestly, I don't even know what fuels this anymore. Maybe it's social media, too much YouTube University, or even some Facebook guy named Patriot 1776 handing out legal advice. Whatever it is, it's getting out of control. At this point, we might as well start taking bets. How long before one of them tries using Minecraft law in court? Let me know your thoughts. Why do you think sovereign citizens are so common these days? Let's dive back in.
Represent you, you're going to have to figure all that out yourself for purposes of today.
I'll require 4 to 6 hours of unhindered internet access so that I can properly represent myself. If you would write that into a court order.
Read your form on your constitutional rights.
Did I read my form? I don't believe I was provided anything.
Okay. Is there a corrections officer there?
Mr. Upton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's present Mr. Milton a copy of the rights form and have him read it. And then he and I can talk about it.
Yes, Your Honor. There's one taped to the desk right in front of me.
Okay. Why don't you take a minute and read it? Let me know when you're done reading it, Mr. Milton.
Appreciate you. I haven't been Mirandized, so it's hard for me to even start since I can't technically be charged with anything. And there's no victim in this alleged crime.
I know all I'm asking right now is for you to read the rights and tell me that you have done so.
All right. Would you please silence yourself? Forgive me.
And actually, Ms. Langley, if you'll unmute, because I have some questions for you regarding other cases.
I have completed the reading, sir.
All right, thank you. I'll talk about that with you in just a moment as soon as I finish this document I'm working on.
Thank you.
Any question about those rights that are on that form?
Not particularly.
Okay, thank you. All right, so what the question before the court now is whether I'm going to hold you on bail. The city has asked for $500 cash or bond on each case. Just address that issue. Don't address the underlying facts, because to the extent that you do so, any statement you say regarding that can be used against you on these cases. So right now, just address the issue of whether you should be released or not.
Appreciate you. Yes, I would like to request being released on personal recognizance. And the reason being is because there were several things articulated in the statement that were absolutely not true. For one, I was not in possession of a cell phone. No worries. I was not in possession of a cell phone, as I had my vehicle, my phone, my computer, my passport, and every physical possession stolen from me last time I was under arrest for defending a senior citizen in this community. The same day that Officer Tittle refused to search the man who stole my key.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for now.
Okay.
Unless you would allow me to fill in some details that they failed to read me my Miranda rights, and I wasn't taking a statement from in both questioned cases in question. All
right. So what the case of Miranda tells us is that if you make any statements while under arrest prior to being read your Miranda rights, the prosecutor is limited in its ability to present those statements to the court. It doesn't have any other purpose other than whether something you say can be used against you. That's the whole purpose of Miranda. Doesn't mean they can't go forward with a criminal charge.
Well, this one was definitely interesting. I really enjoyed this case because the judge was just hilarious. His little sarcastic comments had me cracking up the whole time. If you rewatch the hearing, you'll see him smirking or just trying not to laugh through the whole thing, and honestly, I don't blame him. How do you even keep a straight face when a sovereign citizen confidently says they were kidnapped, aka arrested for breaking the law? Like, bro, that's not how words work. You can't just redefine arrest because it sounds scarier that way. By that logic, getting a speeding ticket is highway robbery, and paying taxes is extortion. Actually, they'd probably believe that too. Sovereign citizens really live in their own reality. They get put in handcuffs after refusing to follow the law and immediately scream, "This is illegal," like it's some kind of magic spell that makes everything disappear. Getting arrested by police after committing a crime. Yeah, that's called consequences, buddy. But these guys love twisting legal definitions to fit their narrative. And no matter how many times they get corrected, they just double down every single time. Like, how many times do you have to lose in court before realizing that maybe, just maybe, you don't actually know the law? But yeah, guys, I absolutely loved this hearing. I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. This case was definitely one for the books. Also, let me know how many IQ points you think this guy has. The judge claimed he was a smart guy, but I just don't see it.